Praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator and our maker. We beg of his mercy and pardon and forgiveness. We seek his light for guidance. And we praise him day and night. And we praise him and thank him for the many blessings he bestows on us, including the heat that we have here to heat us and protect us from the cold out there. We thank him for blessing of food that we have, and the water and shelter, blessing of beautiful place like this one where we can pray to Allah freely the way it pleases him. We will witness that there is no one worthy of worship except Allah, and we will witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his servant and messenger. Beloved brothers and sisters, these days people commemorate the birth and life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In this month of Rabi' al-Awwal, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the same day he was born, it's the same day he died, the same day he entered Medina, the same day he became Prophet. Imam al-Qadi Iyad in his famous Shifa mentioned many things happened in the same day. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to fast on one day, to thank Allah for the many blessings for fasting this month, this day. And Rasul said, this day is very dear to me. Allah has blessed me with many things. And alhamdulillah, we reflect on this great man who walked on earth. And we should act as bridges. And I repeat, we should act as bridges between the Islamic history and the seerah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the next generation who's totally disconnected from their past. And increasingly, of course, they become disconnected. And nobody to be blamed but us, who are busy making money and struggling to make our place and ranks and darajat in this dunya. And we forget our darajat and ranks in akhirah. And in that, and in the midst of that busyness and worry, we forget to act like bridges between the past and the future, to bring the tradition of love, of commitment, of dedication, that generation that the Prophet ﷺ grew out of a society that was lawless, that had problems, tribal, ethnocentric problems. And alhamdulillah, the biggest miracle, as many scholars of the West, including late Thomas Carlyle and other scholars, they said actually the biggest miracle of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that how did he manage to change a society of warring tribes and rivalry that lasted centuries? How did he manage to make it a civilization? That was a great man, and that's how Muslims can look and be great. Not only read and do namaz, which is only the pillars of Islam. If you add up salat to zakat and the hajj that you will do once in your lifetime and the fasting that you will do all your lives, calculate that mathematically, you will end up with 2.7, less than 3% of Islam. Subhanallah. And you look at the life of the Prophet ﷺ, the 97% we don't do today, because we have midgetized Islam. We have rendered Islam as a small thing that is confined or restricted to few prayers we do every day, and the hajj that we do once in a lifetime, and the fasting of Ramadan, and the zakat, and that's it. And we say we have done Islam. Islam is more than that. Mathematically, you can do the math. It's only 3%. Where is the 97%? 50% in your family and marriage. And then you have another 40% in your mu'amalat, with your neighbors, at work, in business. All of those things, Rasulullah changed the world. This is his second miracle after the Holy Qur'an. The Qur'an is a miracle from Allah. That is the blueprint. But the actual model home implementation reputation was him, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Although there was opposition, although he encountered challenges, yet at the end he was successful. Yet he left this world with hearts changed, ideas changed, and everything. I don't have to remind you what he did in Mecca and what he did in Medina. But we know very well that there is no community like the community of Medina. There hasn't been since then any community that would sacrifice everything for the sake of Allah, where people are willing to share their properties and everything and know-how with other Muslims for the sake of Allah. And Allah praised them. How did he do that? The first thing he did in Medina before he built the house of Allah, he built brotherhood and love in the hearts of people. And not only that, this is among the Muslims. With non-Muslims, he had a charter, he had a covenant, he had a pact with non-Muslims. When sometimes you read, unfortunately, our children read on the internet, and we read that Islam never honors pacts and treaties, but it's a lie. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the first thing he did, the charter of Medina, where he invited non-Muslims, and many of them were Jews, and he said, you want to live with us? You protect us and we protect you. You fight with us, we fight with you. We care for each other. We do economy and trade with one another. We respect one another. We live as human beings. It was never him, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who broke a treaty. Hasha lillah. He honored every treaty. The people who broke treaty, they betrayed him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He changed society. He changed the situation of women. A society in Arabia that looked at the birth of a female as something that brings shame and dishonor to the family. To the point Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described that. He described it in the Qur'an in a beautiful, very beautiful illustration. وَإِذَا بُشِّرَ أَحَدُهُم بِالْأُنثَى ظَلَّ وَجْهُهُ مُسْوَدًّا وَهُوَ كَظِيمٌ يَتَوَارَى مِنَ الْقَوْمِ مِنْ سُوءِ مَا بُشِّرَ بِهِ أَيُمْسِكُهُ عَلَى هُونٍ أَمْ يَدُسُّهُ فِي التُّرَابِ أَلَا سَاءَ مَا يَحْكُمُونَ. Not only calling them to Tawheed, to worship Allah alone, to abandon the false idols and deities that they made up. Not only calling them to principles that are universal, justice, and all of these great principles of honesty and probity. He also changed the mentality. Man, if they were in the crowd, Allah said in the Quran, and one of them is given the news that he has a baby girl, what would he do? Allah describes how the faces are. In the public, he said he would darken his face. And then he would walk backwardly. يَتَوَارَى مِنَ الْقَوْمِ. SubhanAllah, the Quran cannot be translated. What you read there in English is only the man's word. You cannot say English Quran. It's still human mistake there. And I can point for you tons of mistakes from the best famous English translations. The Quran can be only Arabic. What we try to read is interpretation of man of the Quran in English, Urdu, Bengali, whatever language you read. But he says he walks backwards. Why? Ashamed of being a father of a girl. من سوء ما بشر به أيمسكه على هون. Should he hold that baby girl with shame? Look how, mashallah, the brother is holding two daughters, another brother with pride and happy. Some people at that time, it was a shame that he had a baby girl. That's how the mentality. They looked at women as if they were not full human beings. That was the case also in Greece and China and India. Don't always blame the Arabs. That was the situation actually in Rome and Greece. It was inherited. Women were inherited. You inherit them like goods. But in Arabia was that situation. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is going to change society. So Allah says, should he, that man who's given the news of the birth of a baby girl, should he keep that child with shame, or should he bury her alive? أَمْ يَدُسُّهُ بِالتُّرَابِ أَلَا سَاءَ مَا يَحْكُمُونَ. Allah said, how wrong they are. What a wrong judgment is this. He changed that. To the point, Sahaba used to pray to Allah that He gives them girls. People used to compete, the companions, they were so happy if Allah gives them. The Arabs changed their mind now. It's very hard to change cultural concepts. When the Prophet ﷺ said, if you have 3 girls, you raise them well until they are of age of marriage and old, and you do what you have, you educate them, you take care of them, you will go to Jannah. Sahaba heard that. One man said, Ya Rasulullah, I only have 2 girls. He said, if you do the same with them, you will go to Jannah. Another one said, I only have 1 daughter. He said, you will have the same if you take care of her. Another one, he said, I don't have a girl. Ya Allah, give me a girl. If girls are going to be the reason. So taking care of women, whether daughters or wives or mothers or colleagues or sisters in the community, is part of the greatness of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is his legacy that the world needs to know. He really reformed the society from looking at women in a certain way to the point that they are praying to have more women, more girls, subhanallah. But culture, which is away from Islam, always puts women down. But hasha lillah, Islam honors women. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam changed society. He taught us what we need here in every society. Every masjid you go, nobody is smiling. Hardly now I'm talking to you. Many of you are frowning. Smile for Allah's sake. You have sadaqah and charity. Why are we always frowning? Is it the cause of Manitoba? But you go, well, I'm not Muslim, they said they went to the mosque, but I was scared they were there. I said, it's funny, our religion says, وَتَبَسُّمُكَ فِي وَجْهِكَ أَخِيكَ صَدَقَةً. Subhanallah. I said, maybe they believe if you show your teeth, it's showing awra. You know, smile. Even in jumu'ah, we should smile each other. You're making me nervous, me now. Nobody's smiling. Some of you like this. Who's this guy? Where did he come from? Smile. Welcome each other. It's a shame that we pray with each other. We don't have even the basics of basic rights. Rasulullah spoke of 6 rights, which is Salamu Alaikum. How many of you pray Jumu'ah and you don't even say Salamu Alaikum to that one next to you? So I heard some guys, I don't know where they can bring this Islam, I don't know. They say it's bid'ah. To say salam to the one on your right and the one on your left is bid'ah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Everything is bid'ah. This is bid'ah too. This microphone I'm using, Allah, is a big bid'ah. But my sisters there can hear me, and my brother there, he can hear me. I don't have Ali ibn Abi Talib or Thabit ibn Qais who have the strong voices. When the Prophet says something, they actually repeat it. And the Prophet patiently waits. And then he continues, and then the Sahabi says, and then Thabit ibn Qais would raise his voice. There are a lot of things, subhanallah. Endearing Muslims to one another is a priority. And that's why Rasulullah focused on this legacy. And I hope, inshallah, we have it here in Winnipeg and have it in every Jaliyah, every Muslim community in Canada or America or the world. There are 4 things, 4 levels that Muhammad established. That's why he succeeded. And I believe if we establish this 4 and you remember anything out of this khutbah, remember these 4 levels. Number 1, in Islam as Muslims we owe rights to one another. Correct? There are 6 rights. If one of us dies, we go to janazah. If I know him very well, he used to come and I see him in Jumu'ah this, I have time and I can make it, I go. If nobody goes, then it's fard ayn. It is obligatory on me not to go unless Jama'ah said we will go inshallah. And we try to make at least 40 people pray behind him, inshallah. So one of us dies. If I meet a Muslim, salam. If he says salam, radd salam is fard. So reply is fard. If he sneezes or she sneezes and says alhamdulillah, you say yarhamukallah. Whether he hear alhamdulillah or no, I have some people say, I didn't hear him say alhamdulillah. So I'm not going to say alhamdulillah. Subhanallah. He's just sneezed. Sometimes they cannot alhamdulillah loud. Just say alhamdulillah. Be generous, ya habibi. Ibn Abbas was sitting once and some Jewish people came, non-Muslims. And they said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Ya Ibn Abbas. He said, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. One of the youth said, you told him wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, they are not Muslim. He said, أَلَيْسَ فِي رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ يَعِيشُ? Isn't he living in the mercy of Allah? So this is not Muslim. How about the Muslim? وإذا حييتم بتحية فحيوا بأحسن منها أو ردوها بمثلها. Always greet with something better. You say Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. You say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh, say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Wa maghfiratun minhu wa ridwan. 50 hasana. Subhanallah. There are many other rights. وإن كان مريضا, if he's sick, يعود, to visit him. These are the rights of Muslim. Basic rights, we call them public rights. Public rights, so we keep them. And وَإِذَا اسْتَنْصَحَهُ نَصَحَ, and if he seeks his advice, then you give him. Somebody comes to you and say, I need your advice. You give them advice if you can. At least listen to them if you have time, if you have. These are the rights we owe each other. That's the level what we call basic public rights among the Muslims. Rasulullah established them. These are the rights. Not only that, he moved them to something higher. Higher. It is called, the first one is level of Islam. The second one has to do with Iman. It's related, as we have Islam, Iman and Ihsan. This is the level of Islam. Basic, what I owe you as a Muslim, what you owe me. These are the rights. And then there is a right for the believers. If we're a truly believer, he says, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. And this is what they call in English the golden rule. None of you believes until you love for others what you love for yourself. It's amazing that before you make judgment about somebody, before you answer somebody, think of him being you. Or think of yourself being him. Before you say, oh, these people, this, put yourself in their place. And then make judgment. We're very judgmental. If we Muslims just apply this, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. Imam al-Nawawi actually said that أخيه here is universal brother. And I agree with that. There are many other scholars spoke about it. Meaning, you love for others what you love for yourself. This is the level of Iman. Rasulullah is denying faith. He's denying you faith if you do not love for others what you love for yourself. Not only now you apply the basic Islam in order to prove your Iman. True, you have to love for others what you love for yourself. That's why he said, لا يؤمن من لا يؤمن من لم يأمن جاره بوائقه. He does not believe the one whose neighbor is not safe from his harm. Subhanallah. If your neighbor is not safe from you, your harm could be your noise, could be your garbage, could be different things. He says he's not a believer, the one whose neighbor is not safe from his or her harm. Subhanallah. Iman, he denied Iman for a person who sleeps with food at home and he knows that his neighbor has slept hungry. He denies you faith. Subhanallah. So this is the level of Iman. You love for others what you love for yourself. Islam did not stop there. This is what we call the universal golden rule. Every religion, every book has it. It's key that you cannot help others until you feel what they are going through. And you feel that's how you're a believer. Now, Islam did not stop there. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he did, this is to know why Sahaba are different. Why this generation of companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam were different. How did he mold them? This illiterate man. But it doesn't mean he was not wise or educated sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And literate, yet his miracle is that he was illiterate. Third level, and this called level of ihsan. As you know the hadith of Jibreel, he asked him what Islam, Iman and Ihsan. We all know that. And I'm not touching on that hadith because all of you know it. And I'm sure you heard it many times. But I'm saying you practically how Rasulullah applied it. This third level is called Ihsan. Ihsan means you love for others more than what you love for yourself. And we have seen that in Medina. والذين تبوأوا الدار والإيمان من هاجر إليهم ولا يجدون في صدورهم حاجة مما أوتوا ويؤثرون على أنفسهم ولو كان بهم خصاصة ومن يوق شح نفسه فأولئك هم المفلحون. Allah proved that in the people of Medina. And this very story, many of you know the story of Abu Talha. Rasul was receiving people coming to Islam all the time. Like we're sitting here in Winnipeg, and mashallah, one brother comes from Pakistan, one brother comes from Egypt, one brother, these days many brothers come from Syria, come from any country. They come new. We receive them, we assist them. I have seen other communities, when one of them comes, you know what I'm talking about. Some Muslim sects and groups, they're very organized. They meet him at the airport, they help him to get the driver license, social insurance number, help him to find rent. They will host him for 3 days and help him to do. When you come and you have no relatives, subhanallah. Many of you are immigrants. Remember when you came, some of you came with $100 in the pocket. Some came as students. So do we have a system like that? The Sahaba had that system. A great system, subhanallah. So, he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam received one man. Anybody knew this? He go to the masjid, Rasulullah is there. He said, I am hungry, I am tired, I just want to eat and sleep. You know when you come from a long trip, you know, especially in Arabia hut, you know, I was talking to Dr. Saleh, and then here, when you look at this cold here, you think about the natives, you know, the First Nations, how did they survive this cold in the old times? But they managed. And also our people in the desert, in the Sahara, in Arabia, Pakistan, India, in the heat, no air conditioner, no heating. And they lived, and they were content, and they were happy. Today, we can't make it. It's cold, we complain. It's hot, we complain. Subhanallah. We have become very fragile. We have it very easy. Alhamdulillah, Allah made it easy. But how much are we given? They gave more than what they could. They had these values. It was very hot or very cold. So this man comes, Rasulullah said, wait, he called his family, is there any food at home? Can you believe the wives of the Prophet said, we have no food. Aisha used to say, we stay 2 months without kindling fire. We don't even turn on the fire. We don't cook. We just eat some dates and water every day. If we're lucky, we get some barley bread. That was the situation. This was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. MashaAllah, look our fridges, not only fridges, our freezers. We have food for the next 6 months. Alhamdulillah, Rasulullah didn't have food. He said, okay, to his companions. First, as a leader, he looked in his house. He has nothing. He said, is there anybody who can host this person one night, please? Nobody stood, and this man, Abu Talha, stood from the people of Medina. And he said, I will take it. You know the story in Surah Al-Hashr, Allah mentioned the ayah I read for you. He took him home. As soon as he reached home, he said to his wife, do we have any food? She said, we have a little bit of food for the children before they sleep. He said, put them to sleep and put that food, we have a guest. Of course, she didn't yell at him. She didn't tell him, why did you send me a text message? Why did you call me? She didn't say, why did you do this? Oh, what is this? I'm leaving to my father's house. You always do this to me. She said, she was like him. Marhaba. Is he the guest of Rasulullah? He's our guest. As we say in Arabic, above my head. Ala rasi. So, he said, dim the light. Make the light dim. And let's pretend we are eating. And let the guest eat all the food. And alhamdulillah, he ate, gave him water, he drank, and he said, alhamdulillah, they gave him a place. They took care of him that night. And of course, this man went, Abu Talha, to Rasulullah in the morning, and he says, laqad. Rasulullah was smiling and laughing, and the man was surprised. He said, laqad ajiba rabbukuma min sani'atikuma al-bariha. Allah is proud. Al-ajab hasha lillah. But English is short of the translation. Allah is amazed, but Allah doesn't get amazed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above emotions. But Allah is so pleased and happy and proud of what you have done yesterday. This is called ihsan. What is ihsan? Inna Allah yuhibbul muhsinin. And muhsin is a person who does something that he doesn't have to do. When you give sadaqah and charity, you give your zakat, you give whatever, and you give more, that's called ihsan. When you want to do more nafil, you pray, but anything that Allah did not ask us, and we do more. أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه فإن لم تكن تراه فإنه يراك. You worship Allah as if you see Him, but you know, even if you don't see Him, that He sees you. You have this yaqeen. Imagine, we understand that there are cameras everywhere, and we know that our boss watches the camera. SubhanAllah, how will we behave? So that's the feeling. But the implementation of that is that not only you look for others what you look for yourself. Look at that, you've gone higher now. You look for others more than what you look for yourself. It's called in Arabic al-ithar. وَيُؤْثِرُونَ, there's no word in English for ithar. وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. Even if they were in need. The children slept hungry. And the man and his wife, they slept hungry. Why? Many of us would we go sleeping hungry? SubhanAllah, one of our imams called me just during the freezing rain we had in the GTA. And he said, he was crying. He said, yesterday we were invited to a majlis. Majlis is a dars, Qur'an dars in somebody's house. He said, while we were preparing to read tafsir and this, and he's the imam, he's a doctor, mashallah, alim, he's going to give the halaqah. He said the phone started ringing. 250 or 60,000 people in Toronto did not have power because of the freezing rain. You heard that in the news. And of course people die because of carbon monoxide and they don't have no survival skills. People depend too much on heat and electricity, so they can't manage like these natives we said earlier. So what happened to them? He actually said, the phone started ringing and the father said to his son, stop, 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 stop. Those may be our cousins, they lost power, they probably want to come and stay by us. Don't answer the phone. This alim is saying, subhanAllah, he called me crying, he said, I didn't know how to start. We're going to do dars of iman. MashaAllah, we're going to learn about Allah. We're going to make dua. And knowing that the very person who organized that halaqah doesn't want to help his very own blood, kith and kin, relatives, and bring and invite them. While we read on the paper, people who were atheists or even they don't believe, or from other faiths, boasting, I have enough room for 20 people, anybody's welcome to my house. Some of them, subhanAllah, this really touched me. I don't have power, but I have a good fireplace, I can take 10 people in our house. People go into shelters looking, where is this, subhanAllah, rahmah? If Muslims don't have this rahmah, if they don't have this charitable heart, and others have it, shame and shame and shame on us, no matter how much Qur'an, no matter how much nafil, no matter how much we claim we love Allah, we don't. The third level, Sahaba had that. Now, is there any level higher than that? Yes. We said there is level of Islam, level of Iman, level of Ihsan. The fourth level, I call it Ahlul Jannah level. The level of people of Jannah. They have even passed that. And this is their level. I can give one story. Many of you probably heard it. But this story will teach us how to reach that level. Higher than those three levels is to be a person of Jannah even if you have not gone to Jannah yet. Because Allah says in Jannah, there is a great attribute. Rasulullah was sitting with his companions one day, as we are here in the masjid, and he told them, soon a man of Jannah will appear. And a man actually came out, he just made wudu and he entered the masjid. Came in actually. And then Sahaba watch him, he's not a popular person. He's not known, he's not famous, nobody knows, subhanAllah. We don't know who's waliullah who's sitting in the masjid. Huh? لا يشار إليه بالبنان. Waliullah is not necessarily, people wouldn't even know him. Nobody points their fingers towards him. We don't know. So, second day, Rasulullah is with them, he comes out. He said, a man from Jannah will appear. Same person showed up. The third day, Rasulullah said, a man from Ahlul Jannah is going to come. And he came. Sahaba said, subhanAllah, that's good. But one of the students and disciples of Rasulullah, Abdullah ibn Amr ibn As, he said, I need to know what makes this person a person of Ahlul Jannah. So he followed him and said, excuse me, I see you in the masjid. I have some situation and I have some, circumstances. Can I stay by you? And Arabs at that time, or Muslims, you tell him, I want to stay by you, can say no. He will host you for 3 days. We call it in Arabic, Dayfullah. Talib Dayfullah. He said, okay, come in. He hosted him for 3 days. Abdullah ibn Amr al-As was watching him, monitoring his behavior. What is special about this man that makes him of that level 4, Ahlul Jannah? Not much qiyamul layl, regular salat, regular life, family, he has a family. After 3 days he said, I'm leaving now. But honestly, I told you I have a situation, but my situation was actually to not spy on you, but to study you. I wanted to know why you're special. He said, I'm not special, I'm a very regular person. He said, no, Rasulullah said so and so and so about you. He said, me? He said, yes. He said, I don't know. As soon as he was leaving, he said, hold on, maybe one thing I do, I'm not sure. Every time I go to sleep, I say, Ya Allah, I make you witness that I have no hatred for anybody, that I have forgiven all those who have wronged me, that I have no jealousy, وَلَا أَحْسِنُ أَحَدًا لِخَيْرٍ سَاقَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ, and who have no jealousy for anybody for some favor or blessings Allah has given that person. If that's what Rasulullah said, that's what I do every night before I sleep. What did Abdullah say? He said, كُلُّنَا لَا نُطِيقُ ذَلِكَ. He said, now I understand why Rasulullah said that. Most of us cannot do that. To forgive those who have wronged us, to overcome our jealousy and envy of others, it's not an easy one. And that's what the people of Jannah, Ahlul Jannah, when they enter Jannah, they drink from the water of Jannah, they enter Jannah, no ghil, no hasad, no hatred in the heart. And that's what's killing us today. Killing us at the leadership level, at the following level, in our organization, in our countries. Everybody is envying everybody. And الحسد يأكل الحسنات كما تأكل النار الحطب. Envy eats up the good deeds as fire eats up the wood. So can you believe from the level of basic rights to one another, to the level of loving for others what you love for yourself, to the level of loving for others more than what you love for yourself, to the level that not only you love for others, you forgive those who have done wrong to you. You clean your heart. That was one of the things Rasulullah did. Among many things. That's why Rasulullah was successful. That's why not only Muslim scholars and Muslims witnessed to his greatness. He was a cardiologist of the spiritual heart. He was a great psychologist, a great leader, great teacher, great husband, great father, great neighbor, and I can keep going. We celebrate him, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us some of what he taught and brought, that we can practice it. And then we not only talk, but walk the walk. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma habib ilayna al-iman, wa zayyinhu fi qulubina, wa karrih ilayna al-kufra wal-fusuqa wal-asyan, waj'alna min al-rashidin. Rabbana atina fi ad-dunya hasana, wa fi al-akhirati hasanatan, wa qina adhab an-nar. Astaghfirullah wa atubu rahim.